December 4, 2024, departed for the Constructor University campus in early winter. The atmosphere was like this. To campus because there was an eye workshop for faculty lecturers, doctoral student researchers from various disciplines. When in winter the difference is when outside the first winter the heater is active or on either on the bus or train. Then if you leave in the morning before 8 the sky is still dark, or come home after 4 p.m., the sky is already dark. Because the day is shorter and feels short, and in winter there is a typical view where the sky is often dark and foggy, then the trees that are bare without leaves, and sometimes the view of snow white when it snows. Then the structure is actually designed to be ready to face ice and snow, but often because the conditions are extreme, the trip is delayed or even cancelled, because there is often a procedure for cleaning snow or ice at tram stops and stations that are sometimes slippery when the temperature is around zero. So even though the government often spreads salt to avoid freezing ice on slippery surfaces, then inside public transportation it feels warmer because the temperature contrasts with the cold temperature outside. Then if in winter when waiting at the bus stop in the open it becomes more challenging, because as someone who grew up in a tropical climate on the equator and now lives in a country with a temperate climate, and in winter when the temperature is below 5 degrees Celsius, for me it already feels stiff and frozen after about 5 minutes, so it is mandatory to wear gloves. Now why take public transportation? First, because it is efficient. Efficient because there is a semester ticket, so as a student on campus is required to pay for a semester ticket rather than not using it, so it is more efficient if you use a semester ticket. Semester tickets are paid once a semester, and that will be paid later to the campus, and from the campus you get a student card, and the semester ticket can be used for all public transportation in the area around the state of Bremen. The second, because it is comfortable, the fleet is well maintained, then the seats are also rarely standing let alone crowded. Yes, sometimes standing and crowded, but not often and always. The heating system is active when in winter. That is another reason the access is easy and wide, so if from home you can walk to the nearest tram stop, well then it continues to be integrated between buses, trams and trains. Then the schedule is regular. The frequency of the unit is also adjusted to the needs at the location, and certain hours are also monitored by the service provider, so whether it is often crowded or not, and at certain hours if it is busy and crowded, the frequency is higher faster, so it can be once every 5 minutes or once every 7 minutes. If it gets later at night it gets rarer. Then it is environmentally friendly because it is mass public transportation, compared to private vehicles such as cars or motorbikes. Then it also contributes to the green movement and to support sustainable transportation. Then the sixth is the high cost of private vehicles, making the sim expensive and difficult. Then the maintenance of the car also requires fluent language skills, especially if there are certain unexpected events. Then you also have to pay mandatory tax insurance. Then parking here is expensive, especially in big cities, and it is also difficult. Then the cost of fuel and others. The next reason is relatively safe because the driver will be connected to emergency services. So several times it often happens when there is a certain incident on the bus or tram, a commotion, people fighting or something, the driver immediately contacts the emergency center. Then a few minutes the police, ambulance, even if necessary the fire department will come to the location. Then also more punctual because there is a certain schedule, although regarding punctuality for long distance trains or for regional trains, sometimes it is criticized because it is often not on time. Well then the last one is probably quite important and interesting. It is the culture of public transportation as a culture and habit of local residents here who prefer to use public transportation rather than private vehicles. And many residents here also care about the environment. So if the distance is short, they prefer to walk or ride a bicycle.